Flexcast, we are back with our next guest. Y'all know we talk to the movers, shakers, and the tastemakers. And today we have
Matt Sanzala.
everyone clap it up for Matt.
My name is Matt Sanzala, and for many years I've just been like a music journalist, an event promoter, a curator. I moved to Austin to work for South by Southwest, and specifically with hip hop and music from around the world. And we're here today, man.
Hey, everybody clap it up for Matt. That's a great intro, man. Woo, woo, woo. Now, I like what you said. You just kind of been a general presence in music here. You mentioned in your pre-production that you started out in Pennsylvania. Can you talk about how your road led you from there to here when you were starting out?
Well, yeah, my father moved to Houston when I was 8, so I was back and forth to Houston mostly in the summers and like Christmas breaks and things. I'd come down, and then as I got older through high school, I would come down for longer and longer. And then when I graduated, I moved to Houston. And I first moved to Austin in like 1995. I worked with an independent like rock label here that wanted to do hip hop, but it didn't really work out.
Okay.
That was my first taste my first taste of Austin was coming to like South by like 91, 92.
Wow.
I worked with Andre Walker, 93, no, 94, 95, and 96 when South by just had like one hip hop show.
Right.
95, they had 2.
What do you think? What do you think? And I mean, we're kind of jumping around, but you mentioned South by in '91. What do you think is the biggest difference between it then and kind of the most recent one you've been to?
They're kind of similar because the most recent one I went to was kind of small and a lot of rock.
Right.
Okay.
So the one we're on the tail end of like a lot of music stuff being reorganized.
Well, I mean, brands. South by is like. I mean, well, first of all, a big difference between like the 2000s and the 90s was it wasn't such a thing for like branding.
Right.
Everything wasn't a brand, and it wasn't all like the showcases weren't all sponsored by
Doritos
or whoever else. Yeah, so it was more organic and more of like there was a reason to come back then. It was like people did get record deals and things. There were record deals back then. There were things like that, And now it's more like, how can I get money from an energy drink?
Yes. I love that.
But that being said, now post pandemic, because I was, I was there till like 12, 13. I was done. Or what, before it really, really jumped the shark. It started, towards my last years there. But it really got crazy for a minute. You saw it,
yeah.
And it was all really due to corporations and stuff coming in and just,
kind of a double-edged sword.
Trying to bring, I always say there was no reason for Jay-Z or Lady Gaga or Kanye and them to be a South by.
That was one of my favorite shows, though. I went to that Jay-Z show.
That's fine. That's cool. You know what I mean? But that became spring break.
Right. Okay.
Correct.
I get what you're saying.
I mean? That opened up the doors. Like before, it was like almost a secret.
Yeah, absolutely.
Music heads knew about it. It wasn't like you just planned your march to come to this music conference.
Understood.
But then you're like, oh, it's a Jay-Z, Lady Gaga, Metallica thing?
Yeah.
Everybody comes.
Everyone's
and if you
coming.
remember, like, I know personally, I would have shows with amazing groups from around the world. And just down the street, there'd be 4,000 people in line outside of Stubbs, which is not even a 2,000 capacity venue.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Y'all are standing around. So, and it got kind of crazy. Now it's actually corporate.
Yes.
So there's that too.
And you also mentioned that you had done a radio show as well. It was kind of like a reggae format. So you've done radio, you've done live shows. I want you to talk about that moment where, it kind of at the beginning where you're like, hey, I'm going to go head into this. I'm really good at this. And this is something that I can do for a long time. Can you talk about that spark when you had that moment? Maybe it was a radio show you did, or maybe it was a live show you did.
I mean, my first radio show was a reggae show. And that was just, I was still in high school.
Okay.
The guys on the college station got kicked off for playing too many weed songs.
Oh, wow.
And they literally told me to call the program director and tell them that I had reggae records and I'd like to take over that show because I heard they got, kicked off. And I thought to myself, there's no way they're going to put me on the radio.
Right.
And I called the guy and I said, I've got a lot of reggae records and I heard you got rid of the guys. And if you need somebody, he's like, you got a lot of reggae records? Yeah, come down Sunday.
That easy.
Wow.
Like 15 minutes before the show,
Oh, wow.
the guy before you will show you what to do. And I was
Wow.
like, it was that easy. But really for me, as far as radio goes, it's like, this might sound corny, but like, if I see a need that needs to be filled, that's what I want to do. And when I came to Houston in the early 90s, I had a show on like late Sunday nights called Strictly Hip Hop, and we played mostly, indie underground hip hop, but not so, it wasn't such a Houston thing. We were playing Freestyle Fellowship or Papa Chuck from Austin.
Okay.
Come down.
Wow.
Diggable Planets, things like this, while also playing the Ghetto Boys and UGK and K Reno and things like that. But it was more of like,
man.
it was more of a mix of the stuff at the moment. And then in the early 2000s, started a show called Damage Control on KPFT, and that was when it really sparked because Houston was happening, and the station was really, it's a community station like KZI,
like just like us,
and they were really like crazy. They let us have kind of an open door policy, so we could have Bun B in there, but we could also have people you never heard of. I mean, like,
I love that.
that's amazing.
MC Fatal from Austin came down. Like lots of Austin artists came through the station. Artists from around the world, Dizzy Rascal, Diplo.
Yo, wow.
And it was such a moment because Houston was just happening. I always kind of looked at Texas more as a whole because, like I said, even back in the day, I listened to Papa Chuck. I think MC Fatal is an incredible MC. I love the Flow Mob.
We call him OG Fatal around
OG
here.
now,
That's what we call him around here.
Because we've aged.
Yeah.
But the Dallas scene was crazy, from everything from Nemesis to Mad Flavor to all this, PKO in San Antonio. Like, so I always kind of looked at like Austin as being like the central point, where Houston gets all the shine. Dallas has had its like moments and movements and stuff, but where it all kind of comes together, I think, is here. And I think that's what South by Southwest for me was. I didn't get paid the first few years I was doing that. I was like, we have an international music conference and festival in Texas that Bun B doesn't know about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or they don't even know what's going on over here, but it's like, yo, you need to be here so your music can get in the movies and get in the commercials and get on the tours. And if you want to keep it real about that era around 2010 and stuff, I think South by played a big role in advancing like hip hop touring.
Yes,
touring,
absolutely.
And like, because those agents came down and they saw like that whole generation of Kendricks and this and that were just starting out.
They were taking the risk.
The seriousness and the teams that were put together and quality of the music, all that. It was like, so there's a lot to be said for this town here. We complain a lot about changes and different things. I complain a lot about changes.
Yeah, no, you're spot on about that, man.
But man, like, we have to look at the blessing that we really have here for real. So that was always kind of like my thing. Like, I didn't get paid to do Damage Control. I didn't get paid to do South by Southwest the first couple of years, but it was like the divine payment was infinite.
Yes.
It opened so many doors for me and other people. It was fantastic.
Absolutely. I love how you speak about South by Southwest as a conference that like connects all the cities and has a way to show all the land of opportunity and all the greatness of Austin. I agree with you. I think we've lost a lot of that. So it's nice to hear someone speak about that humbly. And then we can also hear the passion in your voice when you speak about South by Southwest and the things that you've created.
I mean, it connected the world, like I still have friends like who came here from Norway and hung out with like the League of Extraordinary G's and Certified and those guys. And I still see them like, commenting on each other's posts and things 10, 15 years later, like that was always kind of a goal, of mine. Like, because the hood, one of the biggest problems is you get, with the education system and all the things that go on in this country, like, not just the hood, anybody. You don't think about the world.
Right.
We're Americans.
Right.
And here we're Texans.
That part.
Come on, man. Like,
it's bigger than you.
Man, you know how, I'm telling you right now, in my opinion, especially around the SoundCloud era and the stuff that I don't listen to necessarily, I took my ears to like the UK and to Nigeria.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like the Afrobeat stuff and the Amapiano from South Africa and all the stuff that's happening. Like, if I think, what happened to rap sucks, then let's keep moving. It's a whole big world. And that was what the coolest thing to me was every year, especially when I wasn't working for South by and I could just go.
Right. As a fan.
You know what I mean? Just go and catch music from all over. I didn't need to go see I might go support my homeboy show, but really I wanted to see what was coming from Africa.
International, man.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
And you've been in the game for a long time. Can you talk a little bit about your greatest accomplishment in your career?
Some things that you're maybe proud of that when you look back, you're like, man, I did that.
I don't remember. It's all a blur. No,
that's hey, it's like that sometimes.
I mean, just bringing the people together anytime I can, man. I think that's kind of been my role as a connector. I want to definitely cover. I've got my Murder Dog T-shirt on.
Yes.
Murder Dog was an underground rap magazine at the time of The Source and Double XL and all these places that were more, major label centric.
So this is like underground.
Totally underground.
I
Like
love
the
it.
publisher, Black Dog Bone, he's the original guy. Him and Mary Downs put this magazine out before I was there at all. Hands down, the first person to interview like DJ Screw.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Hands down, the first person to interview 3 6 Mafia. Hands
Wow.
down, this dude from Sri Lanka was going to Memphis in the hood, was going to Houston in the hood, getting point blank.
Interviews.
Getting like all these people,
Gotcha.
photos, interviews.
Wow.
Okay.
Master P and them were, and Cash Money and them were getting their first coverage in
Wow.
Murder Dog, along with a million
That's
rap
so
acts you never heard of in your life.
That's awesome.
And
man.
you know a lot, but I'm talking about like from,
Yeah.
and I used to go for Murder Dog. I became like their correspondent to go to different cities. So I went from Houston, Austin, Dallas, Pittsburgh, Honolulu, did a whole thing on South Carolina. We did a double South Carolina CD. Like, went to Miami, I went to Chicago, I went to Gary, Indiana multiple times. I talked
Wow.
to Freddie Gibbs before he had a
Before he
tape.
was Freddie,
I mean, he was Freddie Gibbs, like
but I mean before he was like
young,
Okay,
with
gotcha.
like Lil Rod and
awesome.
MCGs and
Wow.
groups like that up in Gary. So that was like when I got with Murder Dog, it really kind of changed my life because I got to really see it up front and up close. And then with the death of like print magazines and stuff, it went away for a while. And last year, the publisher Black Dog Bone, who lives in Uganda now,
Wow.
he reached out to me and said, "Look, man, I want you and I to partner up, and we're going to partner with this, web company to bring Murder Dog back online." And it's been a work in progress, very DIY. We're not like funded.
Right,
We're
right.
just making it
It's a
happen.
labor of love.
July 8th, it's murderdog.com. Go to
Okay.
open up your browser. It's going to be, I can't say too much, but I can say it's going to be like an old school web experience to an extent. We got videos, we got interviews, we got this and that. We got great, photos, interviews, the underground. We got artists from Uganda, from the UK, from Mississippi. We got our
Okay.
old contributors like Charlie Braxton and Scott Beta.
Okay.
Robert Gabriel here in Austin is doing some stuff with us. Just a cool crew of people coming back to bring this back, and like we won't be covering like the Diddy trial.
I was just
Yeah.
gonna ask you. It's so funny you said that because my next question was a lot of hip hop content nowadays is driven to like the noise away from the music. Is this kind of the role that you think your website can fill in, being
Mhm.
about the music? Talk about
100%.
that. You kind of took the words out of my mouth.
Oh, 100%. That's what we've always were about. Like even back in the day, like I would go before the internet, or we sort of had the internet. We had emails and things.
Yeah.
It took 45 minutes for a photo to
Right.
right. But I would talk to Black Dog, who was like I said, the publisher of the magazine and editor, and I might be going to interview someone controversial, it could be Jay Prince, it could be anybody.
Right.
Yeah.
I've interviewed Jay Prince, I've interviewed all kinds of
Wow.
people for Murder Dog.
We have to
And
talk about
they would
that.
be like, Black Dog would be like, "Don't bring up any of that shit." Sorry, I'm not supposed to cuss.
Okay.
But,
No, adult platform. You're good.
no, but seriously, we're no controversy. We don't care.
You want to hear the music?
It's about the music. It's about the art. It's about the artist. And you don't need to be getting in the middle of this. And I was like, no, I don't need to get in the middle of anybody's stuff. Like I care about the music, and the
Yeah.
art, and the people mostly. Because what I like most about hip hop is very much so making something out of nothing.
All the way.
Always.
You know what I mean? Like these guys come from nothing, and somehow, through art and music,
Mm-hmm.
create a culture.
Mm-hmm.
It's incredible. So that's what that's what Murder Dog's about. Hopefully we'll be in print again. We're gonna figure things out as we go along. But I'm saying that to say like it's not gonna be a bunch of bells and whistles. You might be like, what is this? You're gonna be reading.
Right. Right. Absolutely.
I do have a great interview with Manny Fresh that we did live in Montreal.
Ooh.
Okay.
We're gonna debut on the 8th too.
Okay.
It's like a 45-minute video.
I'll be tuned in. I'm one of my favorite
That's fun.
producers.
Yeah, he's
Is
great.
July 8th? Is there something special about that date, or did you just land on that?
Oh man, we've been trying to do it.
Okay, so it just landed there.
And it's kind of like we were like, look, we have to get so the 8th is like the deadline.
Okay.
Understood.
So, and it's happened. Yeah.
Understood.
That's awesome.
Well, Matt, I appreciate you coming by, man, to talk about it. Can you tell the people, you mentioned that you want to quit Facebook in pre-production. Can you tell the people the best places to view your content and tap into everything you have going on?
Well, hopefully murderdog.com is going to
Okay.
be it.
Okay.
I mean, Matt at murderdog.com. I want to hear music, and I want to know what's going. If you got something interesting to tell me, that's fine. I'm on Instagram, just my name, Matt Sanzala.
Wonderful.
And, I haven't posted on like X or Blue Sky.
Why don't you? Last question I'll ask you. Why don't you? You mentioned that you don't like X. Why don't you like it? Because I feel like Twitter was a cool experience.
It was a whole era.
I feel like it killed my brain.
Okay.
Man, like reading 140 characters at a time, and then like now it's like I'm too obsessed with everything, like politics. I don't really want to hear about it. I don't need your opinion on. I hate them all.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
I hate every single one of them, and I don't want to read about them all day. I don't want to see it over and over. I don't care about any of this.
Hey, I understand.
So it got to that point now. So
understand.
it's kind of cool when all this stuff came out, and if you're a communication junkie, you want to stay in touch with people. It was really cool, but then what happened? Before Twitter and that, I had a blog called Houston So Real, and then when I moved here, it was Austin Surreal, and I was like an information source.
Correct.
Then all of a sudden, it was like people couldn't read more than 2 lines.
Correct.
Understand what you mean. I understand.
My blog looked like Instagram now. It was photos, photos, photos. But then it became like every person in the world doing the same thing, like TikTok and things where they're doing everybody does the same dance, the same.
right.
So that's, I mean, I don't, it's
right,
like,
right.
I think it's important that we all set ourselves apart, build our own platforms, and stop giving money to the devil.
Absolutely, man. We have a lot of artists that watch this, so we're gonna push them towards that site. I appreciate you coming through. Can everybody clap it up for Matt, please? And y'all don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with our next guest.
Thank you.
Matt, we're gonna